In this feature-length Overland Travellers episode, we revisit one of our favourite trips through the Simpson Desert. Not only was the company great and the scenery spectacular, this trip really highlights what issues you can run into and how to overcome them. This film has all the elements of true adventure. Welcome to the Simpson Desert. Welcome to another episode. We are just about to hit the bins track. We are airing down and we are going to be doing another Madigan line crossing. So last time we did the Madigan, we didn't actually do the entire track. We cut off the Hay River and then we joined up with the QAA, whereas this time we are going to be doing the entire Madigan line. And then recently it's had a lot of rain through it, like in a tremendous amount of water. So apparently it is looking incredible. It's very lush, lots of wildflowers, which is completely different to the last time we did it. So I think it's going to be a very different crossing to our last video. We're in the new car, obviously. We're really curious to see how this Simpson crossing goes compared to the old 40 series. And yeah, we're just excited to get back out in the Simpson. We get going on our journey to the start of the Madigan line via the bins track. It's easy going and quite spectacular driving through the ranges.
Cruising along the bins track again. This is the second year around on the bins, and we're just surprised at how green it is around here. It's going to be really interesting once we get into the desert and see how green it is there. I know there's a lot of wildflowers at the moment, which we're excited about, Elf.
Hopefully some paper daisies.
If there is one defining feature of the bins track, it's the bull dust holes, which always make for a good photo opportunity. If you want to see all the photos we take in our adventures, you can check them out on our Instagram, Overland Travellers. After all that excitement, it's getting late in the afternoon, so we decide to find camp.
G'day everyone, so we've pulled up to camp. We are between the acacia trees and camp 1A, I think, on the Madigan. We just pulled off the track down what might be an old riverbed. But yeah, it's beautiful. We're surrounded by wildflowers. We have heard that there's heaps around at the moment and it's very green compared to when we did it back in, when was it, 2022 or 21? 21. Yeah, so it's been a while since we've been out here. We are still in cattle country though, so there are quite a few flies. But so a few people have their fly nets out. They're not too bad, but hopefully as soon as the sun sets, they'll F off.
With camp set up, we do a visual on the vehicles. What are you doing, Adrian?
I'm cleaning your cabin filter. So we put one in before the trip, because the 70s don't come out with a cabin filter. It's standard. They come out with a fly screen.
So if you've got a 70 series, there's literally this bit of mesh as your cabin filter. It will do nothing for fine dust. You can go to Repco, you can get a Ryco one, and it will slip into that area where that cabin filter really should be. Adrian just took his out because he wanted to have a look, and it was like ridiculous the amount of dust. Your air wouldn't have even been coming in. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
All right, let's see how this one looks after 3 months. So we literally put this on the first or second day of the trip, and now, yeah, after canning, all the bull dust, all the just roads we've been on, we'll see how it looks.
The filter is standard. Stop no dust. I think we need to blow him out.
I think so. I might get the compressor, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll show you why.
Oh no.
That's why I put the boots on. I don't want them in my feet.
Fair enough.
Might crack a beer. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. With the recent rain in the area, it was looking fantastic, and there were still large bodies of water near camp. We settled in for the night and had a communal cook-up on our spare tyre hot plate. After a good night's sleep, we got going early to beat the flies and to hit the Madigan line.
Because we did this last time, which was the left track.
So we're also off to do the Madigan line again. Now, the Madigan line holds a little bit of a special part for me. It was the first trip I went on camera with Matt and Hull from Overland Travellers, along with Elsie. First sort of maiden desert voyage for Elsie. So now with Junior, obviously the new 78. I'm sure Matt and Hull want to do that comparison of like a 40 series on the Madigan, a 70 series on the Madigan. So it's going to be really interesting. So I'm excited.
Now that we're in the Simpson Desert, it's important to change over to Channel 10 on the UHF, which is the official channel for the Simpson. This way you can hear other vehicles chatter and do call-outs before dune crests.
So we've just hit the dune country of the Madigan line. Cam is just dropping a little bit more air out of his tyres. Ours are already pretty low, and I think Adrian is dropping air too, I can see him. So yeah, this is where you kind of hit the dunes. So far the first couple have been quite bumpy, so just make it a bit easier on the vehicles getting them up and over.
As we approach Camp 7, we stop for lunch, but both Adrian and I can hear an odd noise coming from Bertha. G'day everyone, we're at Camp 7 on the Madigan line. It's been a nice cruisy morning. Different to our last time, not only because there's a lot more vegetation around, but obviously we're doing it in the 70 series. And one thing we were chatting about is the difference between the 40 series and the 70 series. And honestly, the 40 series in this exact kind of terrain is better. The 70 series really buck back and forth. More on this line than the Canning. It's sort of a different drive. Look, it's doing it fine. It's just the gearing as well, actually. First bit low, second too high, whereas in the 40, second it would crawl over still. But look, I mean, obviously the 70 is better. It's just interesting comparing it. So as I said, we're at Camp 7. We just had a bit of lunch, and Adrian's just done a bit of a walk around on Bertha, and he has a digital thermometer, which are a very handy bit of gear, and he ran it over his hubs, and he noticed one of his rear hubs is hot. He's very, very hot.
Hot diggity.
So that can mean poor lubrication on your bearings, or it can also mean a bearing is starting to collapse, which is something you can definitely check. At the very least, Adrian's going to take it apart, grease it up, and give it every chance it's got. Because yeah, he's due for bearings, and he was going to do it at the end of the trip, but yeah, we'll see how it looks. Adrian begins to tear down to the hub. It's worth noting Adrian has all the tools for this, but he may have forgot to bring a spare bearing, as we all did.
Just go my side. Let the leaf pack just... Yeah, because if it falls, I just don't want it to crush me. No, that's exactly right.
Never do I.
Some sort of issue, we don't know yet whether we've got a collapsed bearing or we're just dry bearing, and it's caused the rotor to come out and foul on the caliper. Now, the rear diff lock's not working on Bertha, so we can't pull the axle out without dropping internals in the diff. So in order to line that up, we're manually actuating a diff, so we've had to take the cover off and push the pin in, but we can't push the pin in because it's not in the exact position, so we've got to jack the whole car up, turn the wheel slightly, put the pin in. Fingers crossed.
He won with lock. Diff lock on.
You got her.
No.
Oh no!
She's dead.
She's dead, alright.
Oh no, that's not bearing.
No, what's that? That's the
locker
ring around the outside. So maybe that might have been it too. But that's also causing it to move.
And that is a seal.
Yes.
That's an axle seal.
So we need a bearing.
She was just like... Yeah, on there. That's the second biggest shaft she's seen today.
Yeah. Sorry, Hol.
That's okay.
That's full collapse.
Yep. She's a collapse.
Now, this might not look like a bearing, but that's a bearing.
Well, should we get diff oil?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
We'll drain it. Have a look at the plug.
Yeah.
It should be coated in metal.
Oh yeah. By the looks of this.
That'll cost you not much.
Right, so we've got that hub off. You see in the tub in the ground there. We've got a full collapsed outside bearing. It is fully, it's metal. Now the stub is a bit worn because metal's been bashing around, but where both bearings are going to sit is good. It doesn't look pretty, and it's going to need some serious love later. J-Max, you want to give me a diff or something? I would love one. Or multi-drive, I'm going to need some new stub axles. Anyway, we're going to get some parts. Matt and Hole are going to do the Mercy dash to Alice. We've got the Starling set up for that, which is handy that these guys have got it. And we'll start a rebuild in the desert.
Some footage of that.
Contact later.
Thank you.
Do you guys need some coal? No, I think we're good. Not so bad. Not so bad.
So the cool thing is right now we've got the Starlink set up. So this is the satellite internet, which literally works anywhere in Australia. Look, you've probably heard of it by now. Everyone's getting on it. It is really that good. We're in the middle of the Madigan now, Camp 7. We've got the internet going. What we're going to do is leave it here, and they're going to set it up, and then Adrian's going to get on the internet and he's going to click and collect everything that he's going to need to rebuild this hub, and then we can just drive into Alice and get it. So Holly and I can leave right now. We can get going, and Adrian can sit down the Sava and do a couple of hours ringing people, organising what he needs, and it's really handy. He's got a sat phone, and it's easier than the sat phone to do this kind of stuff. So it just goes to show having this kind of stuff is bloody handy. Yeah, so Holly and I are going to do the dash back now, and yeah, I'm kind of jealous. I think these guys are going to sit down and drink a heap of beer this Savo. What are you going to do, Court?
We can probably have a drink, maybe some cheese, maybe pick some desert flowers. Not sure.
And you know what? Sale of juice.
Yes, we've got a box of port, we've got 2 bowls of wine.
Are we going to survive?
I think, and you know what? I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 soft cheeses, some quince paste.
We've only got 1 quince as well. 2 quinces, is that enough?
Look, I hope so.
Yeah.
Matt, we'll probably pick us up some more quince paste when you're in town.
Yeah. And I've never had bush tomato. We could make a relish out of it.
I've got a relish.
Oh, well, there we go. We're fine.
How are we going to live? Do we need to start like carving arrows and stuff?
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to get nude.
We're literally just like, all right, now, do I need to leave you a couple of beers, like a few 6-packs? How much do you have? Is your good? We're literally just like, we're so concerned about how much beer they got, because we're probably going to be like 2 nights, so you're going to have a bit of time to
Bonding.
bond. All right, enjoy. We just need to do one thing before we leave. We just need to take a photo of Adrian looking very concerned for the thumbnail.
Obviously you're not meant to drive the Madigan this way. We obviously have no choice but to head back, but we only have 2 camps, so from 7 to 5 that is only meant to be one-way travel. It's pretty late in the afternoon. I would assume that most people by now would have stopped driving, so I don't think we'll encounter much traffic, but we'll do plenty of call-outs. Yeah, we will do call-outs before we crest dunes just in case.
Absolutely need a UHF for this kind of
stuff. You do,
so.
Yep. So yeah, we'll just drive as far as we can tonight, probably camp somewhere along the bins track, and then get up, head into Alice tomorrow, turn around, come back. So
yeah, we'll probably grab it tomorrow and be able to start heading back.
Yeah, and then probably be back to them by lunchtime. What is it, Friday?
After tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so here we go.
Alright, well I don't know how much filming we'll get done between now and Alice, but anyway, it'll be a fun little exercise. Let's go. So travelling west on the Madigan, we're on the leeward side of the dune, so this is the hardest side. Look at this. Diff locks.
So we came down this and it was really rutted and whoopy.
Yeah, it's really rutted, so did make up in first low then. Diff locks in now. And let's take it to. I love diff locks.
So good.
They're so good.
Considering we've never had them, it's such a luxury.
Yeah, they're so good for that kind of stuff.
Alright, we've just pulled up to camp for the night. We do have a little bit of daylight left, but we're both pretty exhausted. It was a full day of driving before we even turned around, and we just did another 3 hours. So we've decided to pull up now, actually cook something for dinner. We did have one of those like quick meals, but we'll actually have something
We got plenty
proper.
of time. We kind of thought we'll have a nice long night, big sleep, get into bed early. Then we'll leave we'll be driving by just before sunrise.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into Alice and get the gear and probably stay in Alice tomorrow night, and then we're just going to try and do one day Alice to Camp 7. It's going to be a big day drive anyway, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
It's bright and early. What time is it? 5? Yeah. 5 o'clock. So we're going to try and get on the road, obviously, before sunrise. And smash some K's out and get to Alice. Jet boil. Get a jet boil. They are
So good.
so good. They're bloody lifesaver. For things like this.
Might be using it a few times today, maybe.
Yeah.
So your tracks came through here,
Okay, yep. Through there.
and then yeah.
It's times like these you really appreciate having the right gear. The Sabre spotties at the front were invaluable for this morning run. One thing we also didn't mention, and it's worth noting, was the afternoon before when we stopped. We set up camp, had a shower, cooked dinner and cleaned up all within 1 hour. Having a quick, convenient and efficient setup really pays when things like this happen. Don Kite and Alice Springs, so if you do need any gear, these are the guys to go to. We've used heaps of parts for the HJ47, starter motors. They can deliver to you in caravan parks. They're really good. We have been with Terrain Tamer and Don Kite for years. It's nice that they have stores everywhere as well. It was only a 1000k Mercy Dash for us rather than a couple of thousand. Anyway, we'll go grab the parts. It's bright and early and we get going on what should be somewhere between an 8 and 10 hour drive to Camp 7 on the Madigan line via the Bins track.
So we are back on the Bins track. We've been on the road now for almost 3 hours already.
Just so time flies when you get up really, really early and leave. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, it is. So we've got another 7 hours to go, and then hopefully we will be back at Camp 7.
Yep. I reckon it'll take us another 5.5, 6. I don't think it'll be 7.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, anyway.
So there we go.
We can be hopeful.
So exciting news, we are turning off the Bins track and we're heading to the Madigan. So a bit of a milestone. We're about, I don't know, halfway-ish maybe. We've done the fast section though, so we've got the slower stuff to come, but it's 10:15, we're making good time. We've reached another milestone. Sand flag is going back on.
Getting there.
We're getting there.
Geez, the flowers are just
Insane.
breathtaking at the moment. Like, the sand in the Madigan is a certain colour. It's like a pinky, magenta, orange. It is unique.
Yeah.
And then you've just got these purple, yellow and white flowers covering the dunes. These bushes covered in pollen and yellow pollen, and just like even the greens. There's like sage greens and I don't know, just pastel greens. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
very cool. I'll show you the dune we're looking at right now. Man's trying to shoo a lizard off the road.
Off yet? Come on. Mate, get out of here. Bloody driving. Get off the road.
That closes up like that.
Yeah, there's lots of flowers in Australia that do that though.
Yeah, but I don't know. It sort of makes sense. It is a succulent. Like it's water
Oh,
preserver.
the paper daisies.
Yeah.
I've got a picture. They closed up on my the dash.
The camera's recording, Ellen.
Thanks for the heads up, Courtney.
Take her anywhere.
Excuse me. I apologise if I offended anyone.
Who's
Smells good. We've been on the road now for 8 hours, but we've got 5 kilometres to go.
So close.
So close. Definitely the slowest part of the trip. Yeah, these dunes are pretty chopped up, and in between dunes you've got the bucking hops. So yeah, almost there. There they are. Right where we left them.
Right where we left.
Matt and Holly's remote recovery spare parts business is now shut. I'm done.
Yeah. Thank you, Train Time Have the Parts.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah. They look so happy.
It's like we were rescuing them from like they're on a desert island. Yeah.
Hello! You guys look so happy.
We've been lost in the desert. I'm gonna drink them out. What are you drinking?
You nearly died.
Oh
Welcome back.
It is a shame it wasn't.
You would if you can, so you might.
With the parts delivered, Adrian got straight onto the rebuild of the hub. Yep. How'd you go, mate?
We're done. Brand new bearings, fitted.
And fixed your diff lock.
Yes, and fixed the diff lock while we're there. Those diff locks, they've got a terrible breather, and where these cars have been and what we do with them should raise that diff lock on your diff lock, not your diff.
The breather, yeah.
Breather, yeah, on the actuator.
But good on you, mate.
So,
Well done.
now we can keep going.
Just like that. And just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. No downtime at all.
Well, that's why you're travelling convoys, you know?
Exactly.
Makes these things a bit less stressful. Well, let's have a few beers. oblong meatballs, yeah.
They're gonna be good.
They taste better oblong. Excited, Adrian?
Hey, man.
Excited?
Excited. We're moving. Look, it's all new.
Wow. I think Bertha's excited to get going.
I think she is.
She doesn't want to let you down again.
No. Should be good.
Ellen,
Fuck yeah.
I don't have food on.
ready, set, go.
Ellen got him!
Ellen got him in.
She's got 2.
All right.
Stuffed mine up, they're yours! They were meant to be there, mate!
So, how's the fix feeling, mate?
Just saying, it feels really good, and I don't know whether that's just in my head, but the car feels really nice.
Well, it definitely can't be any worse, so I'm sure she's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I'll just check tensions and temps sort of throughout the day, make sure she's all good while she's running in.
So we've hit the road this morning. We are back on the track. Getting it done after a couple of days of mad scramble to Alice, getting some parts and then fixing her up.
Yeah.
But I think they had plenty of fun
Yeah.
out in the desert by themselves. I don't think they were feeling too sorry for themselves.
No, I think they were. We felt more sorry for them, but I think they had a great time.
Yeah, I think they had a good time. I think they actually enjoyed it. Yeah, so we're back on the track. Really keen to get this next section done and keep heading east.
Yeah.
I think the dunes are going to be looking incredible. If they look this good at this section of the Simpson, then over east where it's been flooding, it should just look magnificent. So really keen to keep going and get some Ks out today and sort of catch up and pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What do you got there, mate?
Just temp gun, we'll just check in, just see, making sure that's seating in all right. We'll do some torque, we'll check all the torque at later stage, but yeah, it's going good.
We have just stopped over here at Camp 10 for a quick bit of lunch. Cam and Quarter just rolling up now. So interestingly enough, Adrian compared our average speed last time we did the Madigan compared to this time. We're actually doing half the speed. So we're doing about 10 Ks an hour, which is very slow. It just goes to show how different the track is compared to last time. And it's just chopped up. It's just chopped up from more people doing it, not having the correct approach to the dunes and everything. Probably not correct tyre pressure, so halved our speed. So that's pretty crazy. It's gotten busier. I think we might have had something to do with that. With some of our more popular videos has been the Madigan crossing. So yeah. Whoopsies. But anyway, it is an interesting stat, that's for sure.
It is. It's at the moment not as enjoyable as it was last time.
No.
But that's because we had the other experience.
But
Whereas,
the colours are amazing.
yeah, I prefer
Yeah.
the colours up here than Southern Simpson.
Now let's hear a rendition of a lovely song Adrian and Ellen have created to describe the track conditions.
Chop City, y'all. Chop, chop City, y'all. 5, 10, 20, 50 million trillion holes.
Pulled over at Camp 13. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're pretty buggered today. The track was it's just chopped up. You're just rocking back and forth all day. And it was a slower average pace than we did when we were last here. So yeah, the track is definitely more chopped up, tiring when you just going back and forth. Anyway, so we probably won't do too much filming tonight. We're going to watch Matildas versus France. Want to start the Starlink for that. But yeah, we're just going to have a relaxed night and keep hitting the track tomorrow.
Matt, can you actually get me the hydrolytes? In a pocket, there should be a pink one.
We settled in for the afternoon and could once again start enjoying our time in the Madigan. I absolutely love the visuals and colours of the Madigan and the photo opportunities provided by the spectacular landscape. Here are some of my favourite images I took on this Simpson crossing. Remember, if you want to check out our photos we take on our adventures, you can see them on our Instagram page, Overland Travellers. Morning everyone, it is another day in the Madigan line.
Yeah.
We're on the road again. We had a pretty good night last night. We sat down, we watched the Matildas get up over France, which was bloody good to watch. It was so
really
tense. Oh man, it was a penalty shootout and it was just, God, nail biting stuff. Anyway, we all enjoyed watching that. Shout out to Starlink for that. Bloody, it's so good being able to just put the internet up for things like that.
Yeah.
Watch a bit of footy in the Simpson. Today we're going to be getting off sort of the first section of the Madigan line. As I said, we are doing this a little bit differently to last time. Last time we went down the Hay River track and linked up with the QAA. This time we are going down just the Hay River track for a little bit, 18 Ks, and then we're getting back on the Madigan line, which we haven't done before. And then that goes down past the Air Creek bypass, which is what you have to do anyway, because I think Air Creek's still flooded as. Pretty interested to see Air Creek. I hope there's still some water left, like pooled water. I hope there's
more
a lot of vegetation in between the dunes from the flooding. So yeah, I'm really excited for this section of the track, more so than this first section. We finished off the first section of the Madigan line and linked up with the short 18-kilometre stretch of the Hay River track. But as we approached the next section of the Madigan line, we ran into quite a big issue. Well, as you can see, we've hit a bit of a pickle. Road is closed. So this is the Madigan line after the little section on the Hay River track, which will go into Queensland and then into Birdsville. So this is what we wanted to, because we didn't do it last time, but it is closed. Now, you're probably all asking, oh, why didn't you check if the road was closed on the internet? We did. Said it was open, and we called up the information centre just to check whether it was or not. And they said, oh no, it isn't. And it's just hard getting consistent information sometimes on these tracks. Like, you just don't know what's open, what's closed. It looks like we're just going to have to do the Hay River track, which is the exact same run we did last time. Hopefully we can get to Air Creek, and I really want to see a bit of water today. But it's a fair drive, so we'll see how we go. It wasn't all bad. The flowers on this section of the Hay River were stunning, but it wasn't too long before we started going up the steepest dunes we had encountered so far at the hottest part of the day.
So it is, I think like 2:30 or 3. It's at 32 degrees out, and so on the Hay River you have to start climbing back over the eastern side of the dunes, which is the steeper side. Anyway, hottest part of the day. This dune is so chopped and bloody sandy. So Matt is dropping his pressures just down the base of the dune, and then we'll try and get up and over. But this dune is like pretty.
That was a bit of a what a hero drive from myself there. Cam definitely took a more sensible approach.
We're reversing up to camp. That's actually pretty good at reversing.
Don't speak too soon. So I've just pulled up to camp on the Hay River track. We're sort of just before the straight section. You'll know if you look on HEMA. And yeah, we're just figuring out our spots, setting up. Better day today, better than yesterday. Morale's a bit higher. Even though the track's closed, it's good having a bit of a change of scenery, I think, and a little bit of variety. And yeah, keen for tomorrow, keen to get to Air Creek and see a bit of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pay money, yeah.
And then I have to give him 5.
We settle in for a few beers. It's great to travel with mates like this, but I think we may have spent too long in the outback. Nothing to see in the desert! It's another beautiful morning on the Hay River track. We had a pretty good night last night. Had some dinner, played plenty of cards.
Monopoly Deal.
No, sorry, yeah, Monopoly Deal.
Fun game.
It is a really fun game. If you want a good card game for your travels, Monopoly Deal. It's sort of a little bit like Monopoly, but just with cards. Obviously you don't need a board, and it's a lot quicker than Monopoly as well. So yeah, really good game. Highly recommend. Not sponsored. Here we go, first tune of the day for Holly. Holly's on the wheel today. And yeah, we've got pretty steep dunes ahead of us. The Hay River track has a section where you drive west, having you go up the steep side of the dunes. Some of the most challenging dunes in the Simpson are on this section. The girls were all driving this morning, practicing up some of the steeper dunes. These dunes don't look steep in the video, but they really are. Not only that, it was getting hot in the day and they were very chopped up and sandy.
So us girls have been having a go at driving this morning. I've had quite a bit more experience than the other girls. Ellen almost had that dune. It was really chopped and really sandy, and it was just a difference of revs. I probably had a higher rev range.
A little bit more momentum as well.
Yeah,
slightly more momentum, but she was so close.
She was so close.
Bertha is heavier than us as well,
Yeah.
so it's just a couple of factors, but she's getting better. She's
Yeah.
so close.
She's doing really well. And it's just like small steps to get your confidence up. So here goes Adrian coming up. Adrian is also a really good teacher. He did my first dune with me back in 2021 when I drove Elsie up.
Clutch.
You did it! Oh. You got it, you did it.
We finished off the Hay River track and jumped onto the QAA line at the Salt Flats. This section of the track is the busiest, so call-outs are important.
Okay, so we just pulled over for a quick lunch just after the Salt Flat on the QAA line. We are now back in Queensland, which is kind of exciting. Our second last border crossing until we're home. So, yeah, almost.
Yeah, we have a few nights camping left, probably 1 or 2
Yep.
nights camping, and that's it for this trip. It's been a hell of a trip.
Has been, yeah. So,
We're going to have to see how Big Red goes in the new car.
yeah. Have to see how the QAA is, because there hasn't been as much traffic on it this year as normal. So hopefully it's in pretty good condition, but we'll find out.
You can see large opposing holes on the eastern side of the dunes. You definitely need to take these slowly. It wasn't long before we hit the detour for the Air Creek bypass. Remember, Air Creek is under a few metres of water at the normal crossing. So we are on the QAA line heading east towards Birdsville. There's been a lot of rain further north this year, and the Simpson's been closed for quite a while, and Air Creek has been flooded for a long time, and it still is flooded. There is a bypass which will head north from where we are and then cross. There's still a little water crossing, apparently it's about 30 or 40 centimetres deep, so not too bad, and then it will head back down towards Big Red. So we're just on the detour now, and yeah, excited to see a bit of water in the creek. That's what our aim is tonight for a camp, is on a bit of water, so excited to see it. As we went along the detour, we were amazed when the dry, arid landscape turned into lush fields of vegetation and large bodies of water between the dunes. This is exactly what we wanted to see in Camp Long. We were honestly blown away at this site and couldn't believe we were in the Simpson Desert. There is something surreal about the lush green vegetation between the magenta red parallel dunes. Not only was the vegetation abundant, but the billabongs were teeming with bird life.
So we've just pulled up to an area that there's a bit of water off the Air Creek bypass, and it is so green and it smells amazing. There's so many wildflowers here. We're just looking for a place to camp now. It's pretty late in the day, it's like 5 o'clock. Poor Cam and Court are a while behind us, but this is amazing. You can hear birds in the distance singing, flowers, abundance. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we'll hopefully find a nice spot to pull up for camp, and then I think we're all going to have a beer, maybe some cheese, because we're all a bit exhausted. It's been a big day today.
Oh, I reckon I've just died and gone to heaven.
Ellen?
Oh, smells amazing out here.
It
All
does.
the wildflowers.
Like, this is those a slight chance in your lifetime moments to be out in a location like this with water.
Yep. This would have to be a once in a 10-year event. I don't know.
Just look at those birds up there.
Yeah, there's birds everywhere. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. You would not think you're in the Simpson Desert. Cam and Courtney arrived. They had some issues with their rear suspension and needed to take it slow. But once we were set up, we got the fire going and settled in for the afternoon and watched the birds and the colours change.
You can hear before we do.
We're like, oh. It was bittersweet leaving camp as it was our last one for the trip, but it was definitely an amazing last camp like so many others we had had on this journey.
Good morning everyone, back in the cars, and this is our last day today. It's our last day on the track. We'll make it into Birdsville today, and it is also our last day with the whole crew. So Matt, Cam and Cord are heading over to the Sunshine Coast after this, and then Adrian and Ellen are heading home.
Yeah, pretty sad. It's been a big trip, 3 months on the road.
Yeah.
Obviously the most remote parts of Australia we've ever been to. In the new car, it's been a really good trip. We've loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bittersweet. And then Ellen's birthday today as well.
It is,
so
yes.
We better have a few beers at the pub.
Yeah. And we'll finish this detour. There's a bit of a water crossing, finish the QAA, and then Big Red.
Yeah, Big Red.
Yeah.
We drove along the side of the billabongs, much like the one we had camped at the night before, and it wasn't long before we came to the water crossing at the bypass. It was only about half a metre deep at the deepest point and had a very firm base and markers to guide you. So we just passed Jerry from Jaffa Adventures, so he's on YouTube. Give him a look, he does some great stuff. But the funny thing was, we saw him on the Canning in their 200, and then he's just cruising through the Simpson on his motorbike. I said, buddy hell, you get out and about, don't you, mate?
You're good to go.
And there's a couple of people stuck on the first dune after Big Red with trailers, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think this might be them here. Big Red, you're doing it this time.
Stop it!
I want to do that track over here.
It's gonna be so windy up there.
I'm sticking my head in here. We're at Big Red. So, as you all know, if you've seen our Simpsons crossings, we did an LC and we did first low, really low tire pressures, under 10 psi, and just tracked it up the hardest track. No worries, first go. I want to have a go on Junior just like that. I want to see if we can do it without the power, without all the traction aids and whatnot, and just go low pressure first low and crawl up. Except this time, Holly's going to be driving it. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be really interesting to see if Junior can do it just like Elsie. What do you reckon, Hol?
I don't reckon Junior can. These cars are
Ooh.
just not like Elsie. These cars are just geared different.
And heavy. We got going in our first attempt in first low. And we didn't get very far at all. Conditions might have been a little bit different, but at the end of the day, yeah, Junior did not get up in first low on track mode just like Elsie, so just goes to show those old rigs there's something about them. So now we're going to try something a little bit different, maybe a bit of power.
We're going to go second low, and then if
Second
that
low.
doesn't work, we'll go third low.
Yeah. Alright, let's have a go. That's it, keep going, keep going, straighten up. Oh, go, go, go! No, stop! First low. First load, dip locked in. Holly was so close on the second attempt in second load. No more messing around. Third low and foot flat. You can say what you want about the V8, but the inner bogan in me thinks that sounds pretty good.
Nice, Ollie.
That was fun! Yay!
Adrian made it up first go. Good drive, Adrian. I had a few goes myself. The tune in this V8 makes it so much fun to drive. I had to actually ease off the throttle at the top. Cam had a few goes and did eventually make it up. As I said, he has had some issues with his airbags in the rear and had to take it a bit easier. And just like that, we had finished the Simpson, aired back up and headed straight for the pub.
Made it.
Birdsville pub. Let's have a beer and a feed. Jeez, what a trip. Thanks for watching this trip. We hope you have enjoyed the last few months of travel with us. We have some really exciting things coming up, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.